So, hey everyone, I'm with the Black Panther, Dominque Wooding, and what's going on, man?
What's going on, man? I'm all good.
That's good, man. Before I even get started here, obviously you're from England. So, if I heard, if I haven't heard correctly, did you guys go into another lockdown again, or?
Certain areas within the UK, yeah. Certain areas within the UK have gone back into lockdown. But within London, like rules are starting to get a lot more stricter. Do you get what I'm saying? So I just need to get out to France before anything else. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course, of course. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that being said, you go into France. You have your upcoming fight on October 10th against Fabacary Diatta. I'm not.
Now I said whatever the flip his name is. Who cares about the pronunciation of his name?
Of course. You're fighting him at Bellator 248. Um, so,
Mm.
how's your training going for that?
Yeah, train. My fight preparation for this fight has gone really smoothly. Even like during the lockdown. Do you get what I'm saying? Because I originally got told by my management that I was going to be up around September, like
Okay.
early September. So
Mm-hmm.
obviously I started getting my work in properly. Do you get what I'm saying?
Right.
But obviously I've been shifted back to October, so I got that extra month of work. I got that extra month of work.
Mm-hmm.
So extra time to get better, and more time until the fight. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, like you had more time to really prepare for the fight then, is what you're saying.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And also as well, the fight's at 145, so I didn't have to. I didn't have to stress too much about the weight cut. Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
I can even fight this weekend
yeah, because
if I have to.
you normally fight at bantamweight, so to fight at
I mean,
145, I mean that's kind of nice for you. You're not cutting all that weight then.
yeah, 100%. And the thing is also, like, fighting at 145 is nothing new to me. This is going to be my third time fighting
Mm-hmm.
at 145 in my pro career. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, even my Bellator debut was at 145. Do you get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's nothing new to me, and it's a good way to reintroduce myself to fighting in terms of weight cutting, as I haven't fought in over a year. Do you get what I'm saying?
Right, right. And that being said, so you're gonna be fighting at 145 again. So, do you feel like this might be something that you like to stick at, or is it just for the weight cutting purposes?
Because I'm signed as a 145 with Bellator, but obviously my last fight was at 135. Obviously my natural weight class is at 135, and obviously I'm a natural bantamweight. But I don't mind taking 145 fights, but obviously it has to be the correct fights. You get what I'm saying? It has to be the correct fights. If I'm gonna fight at 145, but 135 is my natural weight class, and I'm looking to go back down there after this fight. You get what I'm saying?
Okay, okay. And you're talking about kind of going backwards here. So you were talking about preparing for this fight. You had more time to prepare. What is it that you've been doing to prepare for this fight?
In terms of what?
Like, what have you been doing in your training to prepare for this fight? Have you been working on cardio, more strength conditioning, more striking? What have you been doing?
Just pretty much all round. I've obviously changed up a few things with my training. During like the beginning of this year, I started training up at Team Renegade and Team Fearless. They're two teams linked together, full of killers down there. Do you get what I'm saying? So I mixed up my training over there at the beginning of the year. And just tweaked in terms of getting ready for this fight. Like everything has gone smoothly, and all the stuff that I have changed has gone smoothly as well within the preparation. Do you get what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. And so obviously I was going to ask you about the weight cutting process, but I mean, it wouldn't appear to be too much of an issue for you. So I guess talking about weight cuts, when do you like when you have a maybe more of an extensive weight cut? When do you normally start cutting weight?
So again, I couldn't get you there.
I'm sorry. When it comes to weight cutting and you have more of an extensive weight cut, what like when do you start your weight cutting?
Normally, like if I'm fighting at 135, for example, like normally my fight preparations take about 8 weeks. Do you get what I'm saying? So obviously from like the last 6 weeks, that's when I'm like properly like toning everything down and just cutting away all the bull crap, and eating clean. Do you get what I'm saying? In order for me to get to the point of the actual water cut the night before the weigh-in. So like cutting to 135, cutting to 145 is not so much of a stress to me. Do you get what I'm saying? Whereas like when I used to be a 125, I used to be very stressful. Do you get what I'm saying? Because I used to think about the weight cutting training more than getting better in training. Do you get what I'm saying? So whereas at 135 or even now at 145, I'm not worried about the weight cut. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm more focused on getting better. Do you get what I'm saying? So yeah.
100%. And it's interesting that you bring that up, because a lot of guys, like some people I've had on my podcast, some of these fighters talk about how some fighters, what happens when they're in their camp is that they focus more about, oh God, I gotta make that weight. They're focusing more on making that weight. That whatever weeks that they're preparing to do their weight cut for their fight, they're having their focus more on the weight cutting than their actual training. I mean, of course, they're training, but they're more stressed about I need to make weight for that fight because my whatever percentage of my purse could go to the other fighter. So they're more focused on the weight cut, and then you can see how that translates into their fight.
Yeah, yes, and you do see it. Do you get what I'm saying? Like you do get some fighters that just cutting too much weight, and they don't even focus on getting better in the gym. They focus more about, oh crap, I've got to get this X amount off before this week or this time. Do you get what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
I'm well past those days. Do you get what I'm saying? Like when I used to fight 125, I used to always think about that, and it was just always stressful. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's just it's not the one. Do you get what I'm saying? Like all in all, weight cutting is just stupid. You know what I mean? Like weight cutting is just silly. Do you get what I'm saying? It's obviously dangerous to the body and just stupid. So if you can cut less weight, if you can cut lesser weight, then obviously it'll be much better. Do you get what I'm saying? So as for me, like cutting to 135 or now fighting at 145, like I don't really have too much of a worry. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm not worried like, oh, I gotta be this weight at this time or on this stage. You get what I'm saying? So just weight cutting in general is just silly, man. Especially fighters that are just cutting so much weight. It's just stupid. You get what I'm saying? It's not good for your health. Not good for your health in the long run, especially after you finish fighting. Do you get what I'm saying? So
it's mad.
The lesser weight you cut,
it's mad. Yeah. It's and and a lot of these fighters, they it may be they cut dangerous weight a couple times, and they move up weight and it seems like everything's okay, but it does. I think it does affect your longevity in your fighting career for sure. And it translates as you get older, and I do wish that I would love to see fighters cut weight and then fight the same day, because you got guys who cut weight, you got guys or girls that will cut so much weight and then they add the weight back on the next day and they have like 30-pound advantage, and then you see how much it translates into a fight. And it would be crazy to see guys actually fight on the same days they cut weight. It'd be totally different outcomes, I think.
Yeah, it's true. It is true. Like my earlier days, like amateur days, my first few fights, I was weighing on the same day and fighting on the same day. But if you're cutting a lot of weight, then I don't advise weighing on the same day. Do you get what I'm saying? Obviously, if you're cutting just a little bit, tiny bit, weight, maybe you can do that. Do you get what I'm saying? But
yeah,
back then when I was doing that, I wasn't really cutting weight. Do you get what I'm saying? But weighing in on the same day as the fight, if you're cutting a lot of weight, then that's a no-no. Do you get what I'm saying? But hence why we need that 24 hours to rehydrate. But I do get what you're saying in terms of certain fighters coming into the fight with a 30-pound weight advantage. You get what I'm saying? And stuff like that. But it's part of the sport, and it's one thing I don't think that we could get rid of. Do you get what I'm saying? Because there's always going to be weight classes there. Do you know what I mean? Well, from what I believe, there's never going to be like open weights. Do you know what I mean? So unless if they fix it up a little bit, like for example, like certain shows, they shift the weight classes of the weight class below. If you get what I'm saying. So you're fighting at heavyweight, but at that same weight class that you normally fight at. Do you get what I'm saying? So there's less effect within the weight cut. Do you get what I'm saying? So unless that gets done, then apart from that, I don't really see much of a change within the weight cut. It's more down to the athlete to wisen up and to get smart about weight cutting and knowing how much they should cut. Do you get what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And kind of just moving on here. So like pretty much your last couple of fights I've seen, including this one, they've all been in Europe. So do you prefer to fight in Europe, or would you mind going overseas to the States or Canada? What's your preference?
Well, obviously, like all my fights is taking place within Europe. Do you get what I'm saying? Obviously, the main goal for a lot of these fights, US, they're really club. One of my goals is to Madison Square Garden. You get what I'm saying? So obviously, when I keep winning my fights and Bellator are ready to move me over to the States, then I'll be ready. But obviously, it is within my goal. It is within my goals within Bellator to fight stateside. You get what I'm saying? So it'll be a good experience as well.
So you don't really get a choice where you get to fight, or how does that work out?
Well, obviously with Bellator, I'm on the European side with Bellator. Do you get what I'm saying? So, hence why they're doing a lot of shows in Europe. Do you get what I'm saying? So,
okay, I get it.
Me personally, I'll obviously love to fight stateside. Do you get what I'm saying? That's one thing that I want to do with Bellator. Do you get what I'm saying? I do want to fight stateside, and with obviously everything going accordingly. Then it'll happen soon enough. You get what I'm saying?
Okay, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you have against your opponent that he hasn't seen before?
All in all, I've got experience on him. Do you get what I'm saying? Like he's 6-0, but
yes,
he's looking at his record, he's not a real 6-0 fighter. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, all the shows that he's fought on, the shows that he's fought on is owned by his coach, because he's head coach, owns a show in France, and he puts all these fighters on there, including my opponent. And obviously they handpick their opponents and build their records up. And obviously he handed him over the belt, built up his record, handed him over the belt. And also as well, all his fights has been in rings. He's never fought in a cage. So that's another pointer as well. And also, like, some of his fights has been 2 5-minute rounds and fighting twice in one night. Do you get what I'm saying? So he's not experienced fighting in a cage, especially that Bellator cage. That Bellator circle is big. Do you get what I'm saying? So seeing the way how he fights his previous opponents, like his Rock'em Sock'em, like, he won't be able to do that in the circle. Do you get what I'm saying? So, like I say, like, levels will be shown in this fight, and I'm going to show everyone that he's not a true 6-0 fighter. Do you get what I'm saying? But obviously he will be game and he will be tough, but toughness can only get you so far in this game. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you have to be really smart. Do you get what I'm saying? So my high level fighting IQ and my crispiness and my style of fighting is gonna show the levels. Do you get what I'm saying? And he's gonna quickly realize that. Do you get what I'm saying? So and I believe he'll give me a finish. Knowing the way how he moves and the way how he fights, I believe he'll give me a finish. You get what I'm saying? Like, my style will make him overreact a lot. Do you get what I'm saying? And overreacting leads you to make costly mistakes, and that's what I'm going to capitalize on, and that's what he's going to give me. Do you get what I'm saying? So I see a finish in this one.
Okay, and I mean, are we? Can we expect to see some flying knees or?
Expect to. Listen, flying knees. That's one of my favorite techniques. Do you know what I mean? Like, expect to see a violent performance. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm taking no prisoners here. Do you get what I'm saying? It's straight Riverside with this guy, and I'm taking no prisoners here. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm coming off a loss, so I'm here to make a statement. Do you know what I mean? I'm here to show that I'm here to stay. Do you get what I'm saying? So expect a violent performance, a calculated violent performance from me. Do you get what I'm saying?
Absolutely. No, Dominique, you know, every fighter, I think, win or lose, they normally like to celebrate, or they like to, you know, wind down. I mean, you've been having training, you know, you've been doing preparing for a fight. Now for this fight, you know, when you do win, do you have any plans to celebrate, or are you just dialed in the fight right now? You just focused?
To be honest, like, especially during these times, you get what I'm saying? Like, around the world, like, during these times, it's obviously been very hard financially for a lot of people, emotionally, physically, as well as financially. So I'm looking to get in there, smoke this guy, come back home, try and get on another Bellator card as ASAP. Do you get what I'm saying? So I just, like, it's not even just the financial side of things. It's more of, like, activity. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I've been pro for 5 years. I've been pro for over 5 years now, and I've only had 9 pro fights. And right now, especially within that space, I should have at least 15 pro fights. And it's just been a case of, like, people not wanting to fight me, contracts falling through, certain fights falling through and whatnot. Do you get what I'm saying? So now I just want activity. I just want to be an active fighter. Do you get what I'm saying? So after getting through this guy, I just want to pump out these fights, man, and just be active, innit? Just want to be active, pump out these fights and win these fights and collect these paychecks. Do you get what I'm saying?
Absolutely, Dom. And you know, you mentioned you want to get over to the States, you want to get overseas. So how many fights do you feel like you need to win to gain that?
Not so much, to be honest. Do you know what I mean? Like, within, because obviously now with all this pandemic rubbishness, it's a lot harder to move around the globe. Do you get what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. We have to see what the future holds in terms of like how this virus is going to play out and how travel is going to play out throughout the next few months and throughout the coming year, 2021. Do you get what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
I can't really pinpoint to you how many fights or when I could next be fighting in the States. Do you get what I'm saying? So obviously, just with everything going accordingly and just me winning fights, then hopefully you see me fighting stateside real soon. I don't think I'm too far away from fighting stateside. Do you get what I'm saying? So we just have to see how things pan out for in the near future, especially with all of this pandemic stuff. Do you get what I'm saying? So yeah.
Yeah, Dom. And just a couple more for you. So, you got your fight on the card, which I believe has MVP fighting. How do you see his fight playing out? Are you hoping to catch his fight after, or what? Like, are you gonna be watching it?
Yeah, I'll be watching it. I've trained amongst both guys. MVP and Ross Houston, and they're both good fighters. Both Ross Houston, from watching, obviously MVP. You see what he's doing in Bellator. It's a tough fight. I say it's a tough fight. Tough fight for both guys. Do you know what I mean? It comes down to who turns up on the night. Do you get what I'm saying? I like both guys. But it all depends on who turns up on the night. To be honest.
Yeah, and I mean, Michael Venom Page, he's a great fighter. Very unpredictable, I think. But I mean, he's shown that all you have to do is make a mistake. I mean, and you can get knocked out. I mean, everyone's got their time, and all it takes is one mistake. So yeah, as you're saying, I think it'll be a tough fight for both of them, and the best man wins.
Yeah, 100%. Like you just said, may the best man win. Do you get what I'm saying? It's a tough fight, and it comes down to who turns up on the night. Who turns up on the night and performs.
Absolutely. Anyway, Dominique, we're just coming up on time here. I know you only had so much. So I just wanted to thank you for coming on the podcast, talking about your fight. And if everyone doesn't know, Dominic, will be fighting on October 10th at Bellator 248. And good luck with your fight, man.
Appreciate it, man.